There's a lot of DAOs out there doing some interesting stuff. There's a small one called MedDAO that they're sort of growing slowly, but they're essentially creating like a medical credentialing platform on chain to prove that someone's a doctor, like on chain, essentially. And the things you could potentially do with that is, I mean, doctors could sort of start giving their opinions on certain things, and not medical opinions, right? More like as an industry or a key opinion leader. But down the line, it actually could potentially turn into like a decentralized collective of doctors potentially seeing patients. I don't know how that would work, right? But that's like way in the future. I don't think that's their mission even. I think their mission, I'm not sure what their mission is, but for now they're focused on like credentialing doctors. And I think that's really cool where that could go. At a more philosophical level, like I think people have known like scientific publishing has been broken for quite some time now, right? People just churn out some random crap, honestly, like to get their PhDs. And I mean, they kind of have to, right? That's just the way, like you don't graduate unless you have a paper. And so like the quality and not just like PhD graduates, right? Like if you're at an institution and you want funding, you're just going to churn out papers, right? Because that determines how much grant money you get the next year. And so with all those incentives, like people have gone back and tried to reproduce scientific studies and they just don't work. And so like so much of science, right, of our scientific body of knowledge is junk. Like you don't know what's crap and what's good. Because when you go back and you repeat the experiment like 2-3 times, like, oh wait, it doesn't work. It was just some random thing that this person like cherry picked to get published, essentially. And yeah, I mean, the numbers are actually pretty bad. Like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it's like, I think it's below 50, but it's in like the high 30s, 40s. Like that's what I remember seeing. Like that many experiments are not reproducible. And so I think, I mean, that has to change, right? Like people need to believe in science. Like it's supposed to be like the great arbiter of truth, right? Like science is supposed to be that way, and it's not. And we see it's not because of incentives. And so I think anyone working in that space, like hats off to them. I don't know how you'd even start, to be honest. Like, how do you define what's true? That's like a really, really hard problem. Can you crowdsource it? Like kind of. Only a few scientists probably know what's going on and like have enough information to do that. So then do you start credentialing people? If you do that, you just go back to the system we're in. That's what we do, right? Like we just look at experts and say like, all right, whatever they say goes, right? But I mean, how do you do that in like a reproducible, you have to reproducibly get to the truth, kind of mixing crowdsourcing and this like expertise-based stuff. Like, I don't even know how you do that, to be honest. The problem is science isn't reproducible. How do we make it reproducible? It's like, I have no idea.
Unchecked governments have eradicated privacy and truth. Those who resist are brought down swiftly, but we refuse to submit. Unipunks are freedom fighters, protected by encrypted shadows. The future we're building is sovereign and uncensorable. The moonlit night is coming.